My name's John Pritchett, and I help take care of the audiovisual as well as different programming at Salvation Army St. John's Temple. We are a corps in St. John's, Newfoundland. We're actually almost 130, well, a little over 130 years old. We have around 200 plus congregates on a Sunday. Pre-pandemic, we're a corps with a lot of programming, and things were going well. Pandemic hit, and I would say a close-knit corps all of a sudden found themselves far more isolated from each other in a very, very short time frame. So we knew that the solution in part was going to be virtual ministries. There was various ways that we could get in touch with each other, but how did we get together while we were apart? We knew virtual ministry was going to become a key to that. So we have our soundboard here. It's a digital soundboard. It's an Allen & Heath SQ7. Now here's the interesting thing. These boards, and you can get smaller versions of these, you can get other brands, but a digital board like the one we have here is about $7,000, $8,000. You can get them $3,000 and $4,000. That may suit your purposes depending on how many inputs you need. But what's great is years ago, and when I say years, only 10 years ago, a board like this would be $20,000 plus, and the prices have come down to make them far more affordable and far more usable. So it's just really understanding which size that you need in your corps to suit your needs. It was interesting because it wasn't just people from our own congregation we were seeing online. We were seeing other people that we didn't know, and we were getting to know through our online ministry. We also saw people that we hadn't seen in the building for a long time, all of a sudden participating in worship from home. And we had a meeting with the leadership team, and we said, is online ministry something that goes beyond COVID, or is online ministry just to get us through this time? And through prayerful consideration, we as a corps decided that online ministry and being online and spreading the gospel online and being a light in a place that the church hasn't spent a lot of time pre-pandemic investing into bringing Christ to the people who choose to spend their time online. We said, this is an ongoing ministry for us. And once we made that decision, we decided we would figure out how to outfit our corps and our building and train our team to be able to provide something that allows somebody at home to be able to participate in the worship service here at St. John's Temple. So here we have our station where we do our video switching. And this is just one person that can control this. And we have 3 cameras. So one person each Sunday who's trained on this sits here. And we're able to pan, tilt, and zoom our 3 cameras. And we're able to switch from one camera to the other on our live stream using Wirecast software. And that's just an easy program that runs on any laptop. And we have a little remote controller here. And we use PTZ optics cameras, which are a really affordable, good quality option that, again, you can get in several different configurations depending on what might be right for your corps. So we installed the sound system, the new soundboard, and it was digital, fully digital, and involved a variety of kind of new concepts to us, like running a D-Snake instead of traditional snake. Figuring out how we were going to route the cables through to our platform, getting the stage box set up, etc. We had to learn that, and we had to learn it in a weekend and be ready to go on a Sunday. And so, what we did? We did the best we could. And we were able to pull off the Sunday service. And we certainly had some hiccups. It wasn't the best sound that anybody's ever heard. But it was enough for us to be able to build from. We did the same thing when we got our cameras in. We said, okay, this Sunday we're not going to be able to do iPhones. We're going to have to go to our new pan, tilt, zoom cameras. And we installed them, and we learned how to operate them, and we learned how to operate the software, and we ran with our new pan, tilt, zoom cameras. And we did the best we could, and every week we got better, and we learned, and we trained new people, and they brought in new ideas. Because just because somebody's not technical doesn't mean once you train them on how to do things like operate your cameras, that they're not going to bring something phenomenal to the table where you're like, my gosh, that person has a really good eye, and this is an angle we never thought of before, and it's enhanced our ministry. And so it's been great to get new people involved as well because everybody sees things differently, brings a different talent to the equation, and we've been able to build a team. So it started from doing it basic and doing the best you can, and then learning together, training each other, and over time we got a product that's much more consistent and I would say a much easier to produce situation than what we had at the beginning. Good reminder for everybody as you look at 3 pieces of equipment here, an external monitor, a laptop, and a remote control, that when we started out, we only had the laptop switcher and we had to control everything off the laptop. Then we were like, wouldn't it be great later on to add an external monitor? And we added our external monitor so we could see all our shots. And then very last, we got this dedicated remote control device, but we were able to do all of that just on the laptop. So when you're looking at thinking about how could I do this in my core, remember you can build it up one piece of equipment at a time and eventually get where you want to go, but have something that's good enough for when you start. The other interesting thing that we have as part of our team is we decided that it's not enough just to passively let the video stream out there and see people commenting saying, I'm here today, or God bless you, or different things like that without us reaching back out. So part of our team also includes, we call it the people who are doing on comments today, and they're going on YouTube and they're going on Facebook and they're direct messaging as well as replying on Facebook to people and reaching out and saying, I see you, and I'm glad you chose to be here with us today, and we appreciate you. And it's been really great to not just see people watching or reaching out to us. It's really important that we reach back, because online community is only a community if the communication is 2 ways. And so part of our team, and a really important part of our team every week, is the comments, because that person's ministering in a very active way online throughout all of our services. So this workstation, I think, is one of our most important, and it's Facebook and YouTube comments. So what we do here is we allow a volunteer to get feedback from the public, and they'll both be thanking participants as well as welcoming people to our service, acknowledging where they're telling us they're coming from in the world, because people tend to say, watching from Sydney, Australia. And we are able to engage and then direct message people and make sure that we're actually witnessing beyond just what is happening in our service. Streaming itself, just like a Sunday service that you attend in person, it just can't end when the stream turns off. So it's how do we reach out to the people who have been involved with us? How do we bring those people into other events, into other groups, into other ways of connecting and fellowshipping than just online? It's how do we reach people with the mission, and the mission being, beyond even the 4 walls of the building, to the mission of the Salvation Army and the mission of us as a core to go out into our community and be the ray of light that we want. We take a lot of opportunity to communicate what we're doing and how people can be a part of that beyond the Sunday service, whether it's through reaching people through our announcements, through the videos that we show ahead of the service, talking about upcoming events and how people can get involved. And I think it's, when the service is happening, we have an opportunity to communicate, and we have an opportunity to, in that communication, really build. And that's what it is that we're looking to do, is to obviously offer a worship experience on a Sunday, but also use it as an opportunity to communicate what happens next.